Kicking off Arbor Week. Nothing like being able to plant a beautiful tree in beautiful Sacramento and beautiful California. So I want to welcome everybody here to the historic Executive Mansion. We are so excited that Governor Jerry Brown and First Lady Ann Gus Brown are now residing here in the Governor's Mansion after a beautiful restoration that was done with our friends from the Resources Agency and one of the departments in my agency, the Department of General Services. We're very proud that our governor has returned to living in the Executive Mansion, which, by the way, was built in 1877, and the state acquired it in the 1930s, and 14 governors have now lived in this beautiful, beautiful home. So we're very proud of it. And we're particularly excited today that we have chosen to plant a tree here at the mansion. The governor and Mrs. Brown are extremely happy about it. We have found a drought-resistant tree. I don't know this particular tree well. It's a strawberry madrone. But all the better that we can represent that we should be planting sensibly. And we certainly should be planting trees, but we want to make sure we're planting sensible trees for our arid climate. So with that, I am absolutely honored to introduce our California State Forester, Ken.
Thank you, Mary Bell. Thank you, Secretary Batcher, and just reiterating thank you to the Department of General Services, the Department of Parks and Recreation, and certainly the California Highway Patrol, because imagine, they're providing all of the security and safety for the governor and the first family, and so we literally have to decide where to plant trees to ensure they have all of the appropriate safety measures in place. Those are all the things that have to go into consideration when planting a tree, particularly on the governor's residence, so thank you. Secretary Batcher really nailed it when she talked about the right tree in the right place and the value of the tree. We have been working in urban community forestry in this state for many, many years. Through our urban and community forestry program, along with our partners at California Relief and the Sacramento Tree Foundation, we have distributed over $53.1 million in funding for projects, over 544 projects in communities throughout California just in the last 15 years. California has a very strong investment in urban and community forestry programs and recognizes the value of trees in our communities. Trees and water are really two of the state's most precious resources, and they work hand in hand. And as we know, coming through the last 4 years of very significant drought, we take the use of water and where we plant trees very, very seriously. And so while we are absolutely promoting the right tree in the right place, we also promote ensuring we take care of the tree that we plant while we go through these difficult times with low precipitation. Even as the governor has directed us, as we're letting our lawns go and not watering other vegetation, it's critical that we provide the appropriate water, the deep root watering for our trees so that we can maintain them, because they are very critical to preventing and reducing the urban heat islands. They have social values, they have aesthetic values, reduce energy costs, and really add to just community cohesion, and everyone can rally around a tree in their community, and we'll certainly see that today as we plant the tree here on the Capitol grounds. And as Secretary Batcher talked about, it's a strawberry madrone. That's Arbutus marina, and again, it's a tree very appropriate to planting here at the governor's mansion. So with that, I would like to truly turn it over to one of our key partners in urban and community forestry in this state, and that's Cindy Blaine, who is the Executive Director of California Relief.
Thank you. Hi. California Relief helps trees get planted in all of our cities and towns throughout California. We work with a network of community groups that range from small to large that plant trees and care for trees in the cities where we need them most. And so today we had a lot of wonderful posters be submitted for this contest, and we're going to unveil them in a few minutes. But the theme for the contest was trees and water, sources of life. We also exhibited this in Spanish, Arboles y agua, fuentes de vida. We chose this theme because we believe it's critically important to teach the young people at an early age, even as young as these preschoolers from Penley Child Care Center, that they need to take care of the trees in their neighborhood. Arbor Day was founded, or was started in 1872, and the first tree planting also involved school children. It's been a long history of involving children with tree planting because we realize we're planting for the next generation. California Relief, besides doing the poster contest, also provides some Arbor Week grants, and we do a lot of publicity. And if you're interested in planting trees for Arbor Week, or even in the weeks after Arbor Week, you can go to our website, arborweek.org, and look up events so you can come out and plant trees for Arbor Week as well. At this point, I wanted to just mention one thing. We said it before, but with the drought, it's even more important to keep planting trees and to keep taking care of trees. That's our message to the children here as well as everybody else. Let your lawn go gold during the summer, but keep watering your trees because, as we all know deep inside, trees are so incredibly important to the health and well-being of our families, our schools, our communities, and we need to take care of them. Australia went through a drought like ours, and they stopped planting trees and they stopped taking care of them, and they seriously regretted it. And that was one of the major lessons learned for us. So at this point, I would like to introduce two of our board members at California Relief. One is Jose Gonzalez, who is the CEO and founder of Latino Outdoors. And then the other one is Ray Trethaway, who is also the executive director of the Sacramento Tree Foundation. And Ray will talk to you as well.
Thank you, Cindy, and happy Arbor Day to everybody. It really does take a community to plant a tree, and I look around here, you wonder, well, how this tree got here at the Kickoff Arbor Week, and we have the nurseryman right here that grew that tree. It's pretty exciting. We have the City of Sacramento right over here, our urban forest manager. We have Sacramento Tree Foundation staff, Pam and Colleen, over here. We have CAL FIRE. We have a network up and down the state of California. So trees are really special. They are, they're the lungs of the earth, right? And what else are they? Why are trees special? Trees are special because they define our future. They define our values and our aspirations. And somebody a long time ago planted many of these trees around us. So I'm very excited for us to be here today in this community of trees to kick off Arbor Week, to plant a strawberry tree with our very future. Our most precious resources, our children of the future, will join us in planting the trees of the future. So happy Arbor Day to everybody. I look forward to getting my dirt underneath my fingernails with you. Hi. I'm back. I mentioned that we really inherit a legacy of trees, is what we have throughout the cities and counties and small communities of California. Somebody's probably always planted a tree before us. And for the secretary, I have a picture of our governor, Jerry Brown, planting a tree in Capitol Park that's thriving today because of general services and everybody else. And it's a weeping cherry tree planted in 1982. Do you recognize him?
Oh, I do.
You do.
There's
Yeah.
Jerry Brown.
And a few
Plant
others
a
are
tree. That is
recognizing there.
fantastic.
All right.
Oh, that absolutely is fantastic. Do we have a today picture? Is this the today picture?
That's today's picture.
It's done well.
It's very well.
That is so
Okay.
great, Ray. Thank you.
You
I
bet.
will share it with the governor. Thank you very much.
Okay, and at this point, we're going to do the unveiling of the winners of the 2016 Arbor Week contest. So if we'll look over here. Like I said, we have the theme of trees and water, sources of life, and we wanted the children to think about this theme, and really they did a fantastic job. I think as you look at the artwork, you'll be able to see that their thoughtfulness is visible. Some of them express it with words, some of them express it with symbolism. One portrays an entire watershed, and all with a love of trees. So for the first winner for 3rd grade, yes, the winner is Aliyah Ploy Song Man from La Rosa Elementary School in Temple City. Her teacher is Mr. Juan Pasillas. And this actually has very interesting words. It says, make sure that you have water and protein. So we think this is good. And we also believe fruit trees are incredibly important too, and nut trees. And so for the second award, 4th grade, the award winner is Nicole Weber of Temecula Luiseño Elementary School in Temecula. Her teacher is Mrs. Kraft. And this is, thank you. This is the one with a lot of words. I want you to come up and look at this a little later. It'll also be posted online so you can get a closer look. Our 5th grade winner is Miriam Quiniche Romero from Van Buren Elementary School in Urupe Valley. Her teacher is Ms. Angela Katayama. This is the watershed. So that the trees up above clean the water that comes down farther in the valley. And our last award is the Imagination Award. The Imagination Award is one that could be any grade, but it just strikes the selection committee which one has more creative flow than we expected. The winner is Matthew Lieberman, who's in 5th grade, and he's with McKinley Elementary School in Santa Monica. His teacher is Ms. Monica Villaseñor. So there you see the roots of the tree of the world. So thank you very much for joining us. And now the next step will be planting the tree, the next tree that's going to grow the